Okay guys, this next story was emailed to me by a guy who ends up marrying a Filipina. So it's a story about the Philippines, and it's a success story which makes a change. So yeah, let's jump into this. I love reading the stories subscribers send you about their adventures in Asian countries, but most of them make me cringe, and I can't believe men can be so gullible sometimes. I would like to share my success story so guys can have hope that things do work out. I live in the US and was divorced around 2003 and did the single lifestyle for a while, but just got burned out of Western girls and their drama. Around 2009 and in my mid-30s, I met a new co-worker that had travelled to all the Asian countries, and his stories were unbelievable. He married a Filipino girl and suggested I go on dating websites and browse around. It was a pay site, so I paid for 1 month, and to my surprise I was getting 50 emails a day. The country I got the most mail from was the Philippines, and my co-worker explained they love Americans there. I started weeding through them and narrowed it down to a couple of girls that I would message back and forth with. Eventually narrowing it down to a girl named Sheng living in Davao. She spoke perfect English and later explained to me that girls with lighter skin and better English are private schooled and college educated. Darker skin and poor English were outdoor labourers and public schooled. She had her own laptop which made video calling easy. Other girls I met had to go to internet cafes to talk. After a few months of chatting every day, I would get home around 6 PM, which was 6 AM the next day for her. And after a few months of chatting every day, I applied for a passport and booked a flight. I have never been outside of the US, and I was so worried about something going wrong, but felt comfortable talking online with Sheng. I booked a resort on an island off Davao because it looked good online and Sheng had never been there but knew it was nice. The flight was 40 hours with various layovers. I arrived at Manila at midnight and the airport shut down until 6 AM the next day. I was wired and had about 6 hours to kill, so I video chatted Sheng until my flight for Davao was ready to board. One quick thing about Sheng, she was 23 and never had a boyfriend. She told me she wanted to focus on college first, then when she graduated, she wanted to start dating. She told me she did not like Filipino men her age because they were all players, and she was attracted to American men. Sometimes, seeing American men walk around with Filipina girls, her comment was, "I'm better looking than that girl. How did they get that guy?" Well, she got me. And when she told her close friends that she had an American boyfriend, and he is flying here to see her, they were absolutely shocked. They had all warned her about certain tourists and asked her if they needed to come with her to the island, but she told them that she is old enough to fend for herself. She did not have to break the news to her parents and ask for their permission for her to go, but she insisted that if they had told her no, she was still going to go anyway. My flight arrived in Davao. I got my luggage and walked out to a sea of people, mostly girls that were under 5 foot, straight black hair, and if I made eye contact, they would smile from ear to ear. I could not find Sheng, and my heart sunk in my chest. I was on the verge of a panic attack. When I looked up, I saw a petite girl in a sundress holding a bright red balloon. She gave me a big hug and introduced me to a couple friends that came with her. They arranged a taxi for me to go to a hotel in her home city. It was about 45 minutes away, and this was because checking for the resort wasn't until the next day. We made it to the hotel, and well, you can use your imagination. I kind of had some remorse because I was the first person she had been with, but she insisted she was happy and it will always be a memory. We met up with her parents later and hit it off well. I found myself the target of every paparazzi. Everywhere we went, girls would take my picture, or they would grab my girlfriend by the arm and ask her if I was a movie star or a rock star. I have long light brown hair and I was in good shape back then, and my girlfriend explained that there just wasn't that many Caucasians visiting the city. Her parents were the envy of the neighbours because I walked around their yard admiring all the native flora that doesn't grow where I'm from. I got the same attention in Davao. and luckily the resort was a semi-private island. We had it almost to ourselves. Some British and Australian tourists showed up later in the week, and they were obviously there for some partying in Davao. I went sightseeing all over Mindanao with my girlfriend, had the best time ever, but then the week was up and I had to return to the US. I promised I would return, and this was not a fling. Several months had come and gone, and we still talked every day. Time to be realistic now. I had a good job in the States, but I could not move to the Philippines and make what I make now. She had an okay job for the Philippines, but we came to the realization she would have to come to the US. She agreed, and I booked another flight there on her birthday. I had secretly Facebooked all of her friends and told them I wanted to throw a huge party for her. Filipinas love karaoke, so I booked a private room at a karaoke bar, had the friends decorate it for the party, and make a custom birthday cake with her picture printed on it. I had everyone show up there, and then we casually made our way there, and it was a great surprise. I took one knee and asked if she wanted to get married, gave her a ring, and of course she said yes. The whole time I knew her, she never pestered me for any money, or tried to get me to buy her things, or even lost her temper or acted jealous. I ended up bringing her to the States under a fiancé visa. We got married, she became a citizen, and later we welcomed our daughter. We've been together 13 years now, and when we think back to the time we met, we both have a little chuckle. Thank you. Alright guys, this next story is very short, but he took the time to write it out and email it me, so I thought I'd read it out. It's about a guy's experience in Vietnam, and he meets a nice Vietnamese lady, so yeah, let's see where this goes. Here's my story. It's not that interesting, pretty boring to be honest, and you don't need to publish it if it's too boring, I'd understand. Anyway, I flew to Saigon, Vietnam this summer and went to have a foot massage. I read that massage girls might dress lightly but won't ever do anything. This was fine for me, I just wanted a foot massage. After the massage, I sat down with the girl at the bar and we had a few drinks. We ended up drinking for hours. I'm 28 and she's 25. It turned out that they do offer some services, but not boom boom. I went upstairs for another massage and we ended up having boom boom anyway. She asked me not to tell her boss, so I didn't. She said she likes me, but I didn't really believe it, of course. We swapped numbers, and a few days later I told her that she could come over to my hotel after her shift. She showed up, we boom boomed together again, and in the morning she left. She didn't steal anything and she didn't ask for any money. She also told me that her boss overcharged me at the bar, which I already suspected, and that she's sorry for that, but she can't intervene without losing her job. Some days later, she invited me to eat crabs with her friend, which I did. Over the next few days, we met from time to time and boom boomed together a few times. She never once asked me for money. I went back home around 2 months ago and we've been loosely staying in contact. No stories about a sick parent or no requests for money. This was just a normal holiday fling in a very unexpected place. Not all bar massage girls are scammers. Most maybe, but not all.